Can the cycling champion put enough time on her rivals to stake a serious challenge? 20 k's further up the road, Bozzoni prepares to turn for the final time at Reparoa as the southeasterly wind starts to pick up on the exposed bike course. For the first time, Bozzoni's pedal cadence seems slower than that of his rivals. Brown goes round at Reparoa with Doe. They are now under 8 minutes behind and starting to make some small inroads into this massive lead. Rollicking along, current national time trial champion Melissa Holt, who is chasing Commonwealth Games selection, continues to push her lead. Lorne takes up the challenge to follow Holt and for the first time edges away from Gina Crawford. Holt turns at Reparoa for the final time. Her goal now to push on and gain time on the faster runners behind. Joanna Lorne is round the township of Reparoa for the last time. Her deficit is a minute, but more importantly, she has now gained a 1 minute lead over rival Gina Crawford. Crawford's a noted runner, but will not want to let Lorne disappear in the final 45 kilometres back to Taupo.
Sue Melsop, first in her group out of the water, is powering away on the bike.
Our spirits, our spirits.
In the same 45 to 49 years age group as Melsop, the first Ironman New Zealand winner Michelle Catterick is making good progress on her favourite bike leg.
Our spirits, our spirits.
Dave Creamer's Hawaii hopes, however, have hit a major snag.
Oh, April trying to punch you on the first mate. Like it. Forward. Bit bloody breezy.
There's a snag too for Gina Crawford in her efforts to retain contact with Joanna Lorne. And up in front, Melissa Holt on the way back to Taupo is about 20 minutes behind the leading men. The leader Bozzoni is showing serious signs of slowing. As the winds pick up, his power seems to be waning. Cameron Brown and Karen Doe have halved Bozzoni's lead and continue to make inroads. The pair push on in tandem to bring back Bozzoni's advantage. Holt continues to lead the women's race from Lorne and Crawford, who slips a little further behind. There's nearly 2,000 Mighty River Power volunteers on race day. They prepare for the arrival of the athletes off the bike.
Stand by.
Terenzo Bozzoni is back in Taupo's main street. The last 45 kilometres have been a real struggle.
Number two.
And the pain is not eased by what happens next. He's met by a technical official. A transgression at the start of the bike ride has led to a reprimand that costs him 15 seconds of valuable time. Remarkably, Bozzoni lost a further 3 minutes in the final 20 kilometres, and his advantage over Doe and Brown is just 1 minute. Bozzoni is the first on the air run across the overbridge to start the 42-kilometre marathon run. In the tent, Brown and Doe meticulously prepare to attack the 25-year-old Bozzoni, who knows that his lead is not enough. Doe is second out onto the run. He leads defending champion Brown by 15 seconds as they cross State Highway 1 on the overbridge. Bozzoni is struggling to find his rhythm. Doe is into his Ironman shuffle, but for the champion Brown, it's into favourite territory, the run. "35 minutes back out on the relatively tranquil Broadlands Road, Melissa Holt continues to force the pace at the head of the women's race. But she can't shake Lorne, who is only 40 seconds adrift, nowhere near the gap that Holt was hoping for. It's also a reality check for Kieran Doe, the dreadlock Kiwi digging deep to get back into the race.
There's no such thing, I don't think, as an easy Ironman. There's always new limits and boundaries you can strive for and push your body to. I think that's what interests me the most.
His interests take on a new meaning as, with typical ruthless efficiency, Brown overtakes Doe and is out chasing the lead. Young Glenbrook athlete James Bowstead leads the chase group into the bike run transition. Kiwis currently fill the first 5 places, with Auckland's Keegan Williams in the mix. Number 2, Terenzo Bozzoni, is taking stock of his position. It's exactly the same as last year, leading along the shore of Lake Taupo, aware that the omnipresent Brown is once again poised to strike. The 42-kilometre run is a 2-lap out-and-back course from the centre of Taupo to 5 Mile Bay and return. Rich Munro enters transition in 6th place ahead of fellow Australian Chris Waterhouse. As Brown picks his spot on a rise threading out of Taupo. And when he makes his move, Bozzoni is unable to respond. Just 7 kilometres into the marathon run, and it's familiar territory for Cameron Brown, out in front at Bonita Ironman New Zealand. In the women's race, Melissa Holt retains the lead and arrives into transition, but her lead is far less than she was hoping for. Joanna Lorne is 40 seconds behind as she charges through the crowd on the lakefront and into transition.
Number 7, Joe Lorne.
Melissa Holt leads out onto the marathon run as defending champion Gina Crawford, all alone, heads into transition 3 minutes down on the leader.